Okay. So, let's move this a little closer to me. Let's also ask ourselves why our controller's not fucking working. The premise of this video, or this stream, whichever you prefer to call it, is quite simply, do you like explosions? Now, if you answered yes to that question, you're probably going to like whatever crap I put out. Now, if you don't like whatever crap I put out, guess what? I don't fucking care, because this video is really not even for my YouTube channel. This is for my little brother, so he can look at some different builds, because he hasn't played Destiny in like 3 years, and he needs a little bit of a refresher, as well as some things that have changed within the game so that he can actually play it. Now, I am a hunter main. I mean, if you want to terrorize people in the Crucible, you kind of have to do it as a hunter. However, he plays as a Titan, so we're going to start with a Titan. I do have builds for other classes, like, of course, you know, hunters and warlocks. So if you're not interested in this stuff, don't fucking worry about it, okay? Just zoom forward in the video when this video becomes a video instead of a broadcast, and find whatever class you actually want to learn about. So now this is the typical build that I usually use within Destiny 2 for the Titan in particular. It is a Behemoth Stasis Titan, okay? There's only one super to pick here. Glacier Quake. You know, this is basically the Abominable Snowman. Lets you freeze people's assholes shut. You know, we have Tectonic Harvest, which is a very important one. Picking up stasis shards grants frost armor. While you have frost armor, stasis or kinetic weapons may cause them to shatter. Okay? Very simple. Okay, very powerful. Taking damage while you have frost armor gives you melee energy. Then we have, of course, the melee, Shiver Strike. Now, we have Glacier Nades, okay? These two interact. You know, throw a grenade out, you shoot the glacier crystals that appear, and wouldn't you know it, you get frost armor. Very simple interaction. Boom, boom. Now, Diamond Lance, you know, people have swapped it out for Cryoclasm, you know, sliding, shatter stasis crystals, or frozen targets, blah, 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 blah. Not that great, okay? People have also swapped it out for Howl of the Storm. Well, Howl of the Storm only gives you 2 slots, alright? And again, it requires sliding. Okay, I don't find myself sliding all that often. It's good in PvP, not so good in PvE, right? So Diamond Lance, okay? When you shatter or defeat frozen targets, so when you break crystals or you defeat targets that are frozen, it creates a lance. You can throw the lance to freeze enemies, or you can slam it on the ground to freeze a few small enemies. Really simple, okay? The very next thing, Whisper of Fissures, alright? Increase the damage of your burst. So when you break those crystals and they explode and they kill enemies, the burst that they create is just a little bit bigger. It's completely brain dead. It's self-explanatory, okay? Then we have Whisper of Shards. Shattering stasis crystals temporarily boosts your grenade recharge rate. Okay, so we break crystals, we get frost armor. While we have frost armor and we get hit by enemies, we gain melee energy. Frost armor has a wonderful stacking reduction. If you have 5 stacks of frost armor, you have a 50% damage reduction. Makes you borderline unkillable. Okay? Glacier Grenade creates 5 crystals. 5 crystals, when they break, create 5 shards. You pick up those 5 shards. Those 5 shards give you 5 pieces of frost armor. Now, it also, when you break these, okay, you get your grenade back. Really simple shit, right? Stasis weapon final blows have a chance to create a stasis shard. Now, this one is important, and we'll get to that in a minute. Defeating a target while you have frost armor has a chance to create a stasis shard. Okay? And then, nearby stasis shards track to your position. Okay? You get stasis shards, you get your grenade, you get your frost armor, you get your melee. Okay? You get these two things back. Now, with stasis shards, you don't even have to worry about walking over and actually getting them. Okay? Now, frost armor gives you a 50% damage reduction. However, I do recommend focusing on health, because you get health per orb. You also get a reduction in flinch resistance. You get your shield recharge rate and your shield health. However, when it says, shield recharge rate and everything, the thing you have to remember is we have Icefall Mantle. Icefall Mantle is kind of a mandatory thing to get. And I'm going to go right here to the exotics, and I'm going to show you guys where to get it. Let's see. Okay. Exotic armor focusing. Okay. You can get these from Rule. If you don't have exotic engrams to focus to get the Icefall Mantle, you can also just do Lost Sectors. Lost Sectors are easy to do. This is a late game build because you probably are going to use a much better build, or, well, not really a much better build, but you're probably going to use a much easier to get build in order to get to the Icefall Mantle. And then once you have the Icefall Mantle, you just never really take it off. Now, Icefall Mantle does a few things, okay? While you have Stasis Super equipped, which we do, because there's only one super we can equip as a Behemoth Titan, okay? Get out of the way, Armor Mods. Rapid Stasis Final Blows grant you Frost Armor. You heal a small amount of health whenever you gain Frost Armor. Okay? That's just the first part, right? But that's important. Remember this, okay? We already have a bonus health recharge rate and shield recharge rate. But the thing is it's not instantly kicking on, it's just how fast it's going. Icefall Mantles kicks it on. Alright? And that's important, is when you actually kick on your healing, when you turn it on, that's important. Now, one way to do it is to get, stasis final blows, either with a weapon or your abilities, or by breaking stasis crystals. It doesn't matter. Now, it replaces your class ability with a burst of stasis energy that freezes nearby combatants and slows nearby opponents and grants you increased frost armor. Okay? So it does all the things, and freezing a target does count towards some of your abilities. Now, let's look at the shield. So we're sacrificing, a barricade so we can actually do more. Okay. That's all that stuff. Now, the other really, really important part of this build is going to be Wicked Implement. Wicked Implement is pretty simple. If you land headshots or precision blows, it causes targets to be slowed. If you keep doing this, it'll slowly freeze the target. Now, if you manage to get the catalyst for Weapon Implement, precision final blows, meaning you actually kill the target with a headshot, will actually spawn a stasis crystal. And if you collect the stasis crystals, or the stasis shards will give this more ammo in the magazine. Now, if I'm throwing, a grenade and doing all these things and I'm, killing enemies, typically I overflow the magazine most of the time right around into the 48 round to 132 round range. It depends on how many enemies are nearby and how many are dying. Now, we have a lot of options when it comes to stasis, okay? The Wicked Implement is really good at stunning overloads, but it's not really good at dealing with barrier champions. Okay, even though it is a scout rifle. Now, the other thing is, I only have like 24 kills on this. This gun does kill really fast in Crucible, but it's not a weapon that I typically bring in Crucible. A weapon I do bring in Crucible is the Oxygen SR3. We have our Arrowhead Break, okay? We have our Flared Magwell for increased reload speed. We have a Reload Masterwork for more reload speed. And then we have Rapid Hit. Rapid precision hits temporarily increase stability and reload speed, okay? Binary Orbit, elemental final blows opposite of this weapon increase damage for an improved duration. Darkness final blows boost Arc, Solar, and Void. Light final blows boost Stasis, Strand, and Kinetic weapons. This guy is also anti-barrier, right? And then, of course, we have, Amalon Fluid Dynamics, again increasing that reload speed. I've only used this weapon for one single match, and I found very quickly that this gun 3-taps people in Crucible, okay? It's good in PvP, and it's good in PvP. It's a very simple premise. You land headshots, you do damage, you break barriers, and that's why we are going to use the Queen's Foil Sensor. Okay? Because we're relying on using our stasis to create final blows, and then when we have a barrier champion, we use the Oxygen SR3. The Oxygen SR3 kicks in with Fever and Chill. Fever and Chill, precision final blows with solar weapons grant Radiant. Radiant precision hits with stasis weapons grants Frost Armor. Okay, both of these weapons grant you a buff as long as you're landing headshots. That's the only thing that this build requires, is that if you use your weapons, aim for heads. Okay. And that's the thing, is you don't even have to use your weapons. All the abilities you have and everything by themselves are probably good enough. Now, you can use any linear fusion rifle you want, but you don't want to use a rocket launcher. You want to use either a linear fusion rifle, linear fusion rifles, machine guns, bows, like any of these, okay? Probably the submersion. Sniper rifles, well, unfortunately there's a void one. You don't really want a void one, okay? You want solar or you want stasis. It doesn't matter which of the two. Now, I really recommend the Komodo 4FR, just because no distractions plus box breathing. You just aim the weapon for a little bit and you wait before you fire, and this thing will, be a lot easier to land headshots with. Now we have Kindling Trigger. Remember, this makes us Radiant as long as we use a solar weapon and we land headshots. Radiant causes solar weapons to apply Scorch to unscorched combatants. Okay, so if a enemy is not burning, right? If an enemy's not burning, you will start apply burning to that enemy. In the Destiny 2, we call this Scorch. Okay. Defeating a frozen target spawns stasis crystals. If an enemy is frozen, this is just a redundancy thing. You don't really need this for this particular build. You could swap it out with Armorsmith if you feel like you need more melee damage. You could use Revitalizing Blast, okay? But, a little bit of redundancy is not a bad thing. Then we have Dragon's Bite. Breaking a combatant's shield with Strand or Stasis weapon has a chance to suspend or freeze combatants. We're not using Strand at all. So we're using Stasis. So if we break a shield on a combatant, there's a chance we freeze them solid. And then Pillar Ice, Dragon's Bite, these two interact directly. And Fever and Chill, we get a lot of benefit. Everything kind of interacts with each other, right? Next, we have Creeping Chill. Stasis final blows against slowed or frozen targets creates a release burst that slows combatants and grants frost armor to allies caught in the blast. So there's a secondary explosion. The secondary explosion doesn't kill anything. It just freezes enemies, stops them in their tracks. And then if enemies are, in this bubble, they get frozen, they get cooled, they get slowed down, they can't move as well. Well, if your allies are in the same bubble, you can actually save your allies by giving them a little bit of damage reduction. The Shiver Strike has the potency to launch an enemy, off edges, off cliffs, launch them towards other enemies. And doing that, you could actually intentionally launch an enemy towards one of your allies that's about to die, give them a little bit of damage reduction, and they might survive. The other thing with the stasis crystals is even though they track directly to you, if allies happen to pick them up, they get frost armor too. Finally, we have Frigid Glare. While frost armor is active, stasis precision final blows cause combatants to release a freezing burst. Remember, Wickled Implement causes a crystal. It causes enemies to slow down. And now there's a little snowstorm that freezes other enemies. As far as armor mods, we have a pretty self-explanatory lineup of armor mods. We have, grenade mods, because we are relying on our grenades, okay? So having our grenades up just a little bit is beneficial. We have balance tuning, ashes to assets, because our grenades actually will kill things. We have that twice. Collecting an orb of power causes nearby allies to gain at least one armor charge. Pretty self-explanatory. That's just to be nice. Because realistically, at this point, you could throw anything on that you wanted to. And then finally, let's see. Why is that set to weapons? That should be set to grenade. I have different builds, so sometimes these get mixed around a little bit. We have our grenade mod, okay? And then we have, more grenade stat, right? And then impact induction, causing damage with a powered melee attack reduces your grenade cooldown. We have that twice. And then we have grenade kickstart. Grenade kickstart, armor charges you gain, you use a grenade. Grenade kickstart gives you energy towards your old grenade. So it's kind of like a refunding asset, right? Let's see. That should also be grenades once again. It is good to focus on health with this particular build, but you do still want to focus on grenades. You're going to be in the thick of things, okay? The enemies who are going to be able to actually maybe kind of sort of kill you are going to be the ones that are punching you, right? So 2 melee damage resists, 1 unflinching harmonic aim, because you're going to be in the thick of everything else, and everything else is going to be trying to kill you. Alright. Now we got grenade mod, balancing tune, just more grenade stat, basically. Then we have elemental charge. Collecting an elemental pickup, such as a tangle, has an escalating chance to give you armor charge. That includes stasis charges, right? Stasis shards come directly to you. You don't even have to pick them up. Well, now they have a chance to give you an armor charge. So, multiple copies of that and grenade kickstart. And then orbs restoration, grant, small ability to the least energy, all that. Oh, look at this. Grenade, powerful attraction. Powerful attraction is actually really good here because when we use Icefall Mantle's ability to freeze enemies, it's going to pull orbs towards us, which is going to give us an armor charge, which is going to work with grenade kickstart. Finally, we have Reaper. Shortly after using your class ability, the next weapon final blow spawns an orb of power. So imagine you get a stasis shard and an orb of power. You have the potential to get 2 armor charges just off of 1 enemy. Then we have reduce all ability cooldowns when using your class ability near targets. Okay. Now, for the next part, I'm going to actually show you guys this build in action. Okay. This build is not about being super fast. This build is about basically being super tough. So, let's see if I can find... Really? Okay, I guess I haven't done that one this year. Where is one of... Okay. It's always fun when you gotta sit there and actually look for a lost sector that you've done recently. Okay. Overloads and unstoppables. That will work. That's good enough. Now, the thing about stasis and everything, when it comes to unstoppables, you know, you don't really have anything stasis-wise that can really stun them except for shatter effects. But you're not really too concerned about that just because, you know, once again, you're freezing everything. Anti-barriers are a much bigger concern. Overloads, not really concerned. Wicked Implement is incredibly powerful when it comes to stunning those. I'm going to collect this little thing here. Okay. Oh. Of course I would do that live on fucking stream. God damn it. You can tell I'm used to my fucking hunter platforming. Now, at the risk of pissing myself off, we're just going to do this. Yeah, equipment lock, whatever. Oh yeah, it's this one, okay. So we got our crystal. That blows up, that kills everybody else. We got another crystal. Okay, well, we're just using our gun. That guy's getting really annoying. Oh no, I'm gonna die. Oh, look at this. No, I'm not. Really simple shit. Use our grenade a little bit. See, here's the thing, too, is Shatter is not just when you freeze and destroy a crystal. It's also when you freeze an enemy and pop the frozen part. So it's kind of like I'm stopping the unstoppable champion twice. And I can even pick up my Diamond Lance, hit him with that, and wouldn't you know it, I can stun him again. But unstoppable champions are just not really that much of a threat, in my opinion. Overloads, anti-barriers are the real problems. Yeah, I need a little cover. Also, you can see that I don't even need to reload, because I've been actually mashing the fucking square button every time I stop shooting. Have a little bit of this. Now, the only problem with this build is in something that has a timer in it, like a Lost Sector, for example. You're not going to be clearing things very quickly. You're just surviving everything all the time. So the biggest problem is that you're just not going through everything all that quickly. Oh, I didn't realize an enemy was there. I just thought that was the grenade going off. I'll buy just half a minute. Yeah, nobody's even concerned about you. Alright, let's see. Where was I supposed to go from here? It's been a while since I've done this one particular. So I might be even going like the wrong way. Let's see. Yeah, that doesn't tell me. Oh, here we go. That does. Just the fact that there's enemies spawning in. Seriously? Nobody's got time for your bullshit. What the fuck is hitting? Oh, the sniper. I always forget this guy's over here. Alright, you know what? I've had enough of you. Dude, what even... Anyways... Thank you so much. Okay, enough with the fucking exploding, guys. Can we stop with that? That's getting a little old. Oh my... Shut up! God. Give me this fucking dynamite. Now, just a reminder, this is master difficulty. This is the most difficult you could actually make this. I could add modifiers, but kind of diminishing returns, really. Another one. Oh, fuck off. See, now, the problem with overloads is sometimes they just don't want to stun. The Wicked Implement just completely ignores that, just because it freezes them. Could you, like, knock it off? Now, these guys, every chance you get, I highly recommend actually fucking doing that, because they can be kind of annoying. You know, go for those executions when you have an overload. Just don't leave shit up to chance with those ones. Fucking serious right now. Well, you're not really much of a threat, so... And look at that. No, I refuse. No, thank you. You're not a champion. Sorry, sir. Goodbye. Oh, look, we're done already? Yeah. So, that's the other thing, is if they're not really a champion, they're not even a threat. You don't even need to treat them like a boss. You just treat them like any other fucking enemy. There's a good reason why this is my main go-to thing. Now, the other thing that I should talk about, because my little brother needs to get back into the swing of weapon perks. Zen movement, we have causing damage with this weapon, reduces recoil and flinch. Okay, pretty good perk. Binary Orbit is okay, especially since I'm using Stasis. It's actually really good. If I wasn't using Stasis, Binary Orbit would be useless. Quick Draw is a good perk to go with Zen movement. You know, Appended Mag, Tactical Mag, doesn't really matter. Okay, can you fucking not interrupt me? Corkscrew Rifling is okay. You know, range, stability, handling, you know, whatever. Always go for more range and handling over stability if you have to make that choice. So there's that one. Okay. Now, Outlaw Dragonfly is pretty darn good on an Arcane Cannon, especially a 140 frame. We have the high caliber rounds. If you hit people with that in Crucible, you will flinch them to the sky. Precision Final Blows, decrease reload time for an improved duration. Real simple. You know, Dragonfly and Meganumara, okay, they're both okay perks. I would much prefer them to not be in the same spot. I would much prefer if Meganuma was over in the third column. And then we have, you know, Advanced Reflexes, Skill Tracker, you know, pretty substandard 140 cannon. It's probably one I would disable. Now we have a Tier 5 Death Adder. We have Rangefinder, which will increase our range just a little bit. Dragonfly is a great perk to have on this particular one. Hipfire Grip is not a bad idea. Feeding Frenzy is okay. Dynamic Sway Reduction is meh on an SMG. I mean, you know, especially one that's got, you know, 46 rounds as it is. So I would recommend, you know, in this instance, I'm probably going to use Rangefinder and then, you know, swap on Small Bore here and Hipfire Grip. This would be a pretty decent PvP roll just because it feels good, not because it's, like, super amazing. Since I already have Hipfire Grip, might as well compound the thing, you know, add Freehand Grip. Then we have Handling, Masterwork, which is actually pretty good. Because the thing that people forget is handling is not just how good the weapon feels in your hands, it's also how good it feels to swap to the weapon itself. And sometimes you need to swap to a weapon, especially in PvP. Now, the other thing to talk about with something is the armor sets, is now they all have their own little perks. So right here I have what's called a Last Discipline chest plate. Okay. It's got this neat little perk right here. Terminal Velocity, Final Blows of primary weapons. Grant your primary ammo weapons temporary increased reload speed. And then I also have Christ Dosterine. You know, after being out of combat for a duration, your next final blow grants additional ammo progress and creates an orb of power. And that actually goes with the Commodore. You know, if I'm aiming down sights and I haven't been in combat, when I go to initiate combat and kill a combatant, you know, I get just a little additional ammo progress and an orb. Sometimes when you're running from spot to spot, you're going to have these things where you're just not fighting an enemy. And then, you know, Exodus down. Let's see what's this one do. When your shields become blah, 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 blah. You know, these perks only kick on if you have 2 pieces or 4 pieces. If you have 4 pieces of one particular set, you get both of their bonuses. Let's see, this one, I guess I'll melt that down. There are different ones. Some of them are definitely better than others, obviously. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. Looks like I completed yet another challenge. Okay, so. Now, let's go ahead and talk about another build that I have. It. Maybe this is it. Now, this is my Arc Titan here. And apparently I got rid of the legs that it had at some point. This one's pretty damn simple. You have Touch of Thunder, improves your grenades. We have Pulse Grenades. And then we have Knockout. Knockout critically wounding a target or breaking their shield. Your melee attacks will start doing, you know, little pulses of energy. Melee, increase your melee range against combatants and your melee damage against combatants for a small amount of time. This creates a scenario where you're, you know, hitting somebody with a grenade, you're punching somebody, they punch you, you punch them back. You have Thunderclap, you know, it's a little miniature Kamehameha. You have Thunder Crash, because I just like Thunder Crash much better than Fist of Havoc. Okay. We're going to have Spark of Ions, defeating a jolted target with a bolt charge, creates an ionic trace. Okay. Spark of Magnitude, your lingering arc grenades last longer. You know, Pulse Grenade pulses more times before it disappears. Your arc grenades jolt targets. This one is really important. In fact, this is probably the most important one, because if you jolt targets and targets die, then you're going to get ionic traces, which is going to give you more grenades. Now, with that, we also have Spark of Discharge. This one, not so important. Arc Weapon Final Blows have a chance to create an ionic trace. It's okay. You know, there are other ones that might be a little bit better, especially if you need, like, damage resistance or something. The problem with Arc Titan is, even though it gives you grenades a lot of the time, especially if you pair it with, you know, good old Armamentarium. Just... What? Oh, wrong thing. So, you know, if you pair it with Armamentarium, you're going to have more grenades, 2 grenades, you're going to have more ways to kill things. From that, we have the Fast Talker with, you know, Demolitionist, Master of Arms. You know, something else might even be better. Then we have Out of Bounds with Demolitionist, Adrenaline Junkie. This gives you your grenades back. This gives you damage for your grenades. This gives you damage for your weapon. This gives you damage if you use your grenades, and reloads your weapons. Okay, 900 round per minute overload. You know, like, this is a really powerful build if you just want to spam grenades. Now, each pulse grenade, if I hit a boss and the boss stays in it for a 30-second duration and gets, you know, hit with maximum damage by it, each grenade does about 1.2 million damage. Okay, I have 2 of these. If I pull out my Thunderlord and I'm dumping rounds into, you know, a boss, I'm going to be able to actually dump out 7 grenades, 6 or 7 grenades, and a Thunder Crash on one boss. Okay. now I'm in the ballpark of doing like 12 million damage, right? You know, as far as what to use with this, I actually haven't bothered like making a thing for it yet, so let's actually get into that. Boop doop. Actually, being amplified longer is just nice quality of life. Arc super damage is good because we are going to be using thunder crashes on bosses. Breaking arm power. That's whatever. This one's not that great. Yeah, no, this one's like, there's got to be a better one than that. Let's check this one here. Guess this one might be way better. Let's see. Damn, this one's not very good. Oh, hey, machine guns. We are using a machine gun. Finisher final blows, grant grenade and melee energy. That's actually good. Let's see, final blows, jolt combatants and blind nearby combatants. That's actually really good. Okay. So, boop doop. Defeating arc debuff targets and jolt does count as a debuff. Will spawn orbs of power. And then I guess we'll just equip that one because we will break shields. Okay. More arc damage and debuffs. Let's see. Granting. Might as well have weapon stability and all that. So let's go ahead and... So now with that one, we just have your typical grenade mod setup. Ionic traces are just like stasis shards where they come directly towards you, except the difference is they don't even require you to have any kind of elemental thing. They just automatically do it on their own, which is one of the small appeals of, you know, Arc itself. And, you know, I mean, looking like a thunder god is also pretty fucking dope, too. So, there is that. Now, so there is that sort of a build. Now, there is another build that's a little bit different. Now, you might be going, well, how is it different? Okay. Alright, so this one is a void build. We'll just fucking do that. And it relies on a couple things. We have One-Eyed Mask. It highlights a target, so a target will get an X around it. Now, if you go and kill that target dies, and then you get an overshield. So we pair that with Ward of Dawn. Okay, we have your Rally Barricade, and then we have, you know, your cat. Actually, that should be High Lift. And then we have, you know, your typical shield bash, or you can use the shield throw if you prefer that. Either one is okay. You know. And then we have a suppressor grenade. Then we have offensive bulwark. Well, you have Ward of Dawn, you have an overshield. You know, final blows with grenade. Final blows grant grenade and melee energy. Okay. Then, melee final blows restore a small portion of overshield and extend its duration. You gain additional shield throw while you have Sentinel shield. So, controlled demolition. Hitting a target with a void ability or volatile explosion makes them volatile and further damage a volatile target, causing them to explode. Okay. Then finally we have Echo Vigilance. Defeating targets while your shields are depleted grants you a temporary overshield. This just allows you to get a little bit of health if you're about to die. Void ability final blows cause targets to explode. Melee final blows start health regeneration for you and nearby allies. So if you kill things with your melee, you're going to give your allies health and yourself. And finally, final blows surrounded by combatants grant super energy. Okay. Now, why are we doing all that? Well, let me show you. I'm going to show you, I'm going to have to go into my vault. And actually, I, for whatever reason, didn't save this build the first time I made it, which is actually annoying. I think it was, where is it? Oh, there it is, right in front of my face. No, I don't really like that one. Just edit this while I'm waiting for it to fucking pull me into orbit, because it's gonna be a minute. I don't know why the Dreaming City is always so touch and go like that, but it is. Alright. Should be in orbit. And so now, the newest weapon with this particular season is called the Turncoat. And I do recommend using the Turncoat, because the Turncoat is going to do its job just fine. However, you could also consider using a Void Glaive, and there is also a Void Glaive that I highly do recommend. But let's go ahead and just, you know, pull out the Turncoat here. Yeah, I fucking hate that. Okay, come on. This is the one we want. Okay. So we have a Minstrel Lift, Reconstruction, Rewind Rounds, Fast Stinger. This has the chance to reload itself. God damn it. Of course I would do that. Yeah, I got a lot of good shit in my bolts. Boom. Okay. We have the Turncoat, and then we have whatever weapon you want to use. So the Turncoat has a few... well, a lot of unique things it does. Dealing damage, builds a latent power, precision hits, final blows. At full power, hold the reload button, unleash power. Empowering weapon increases the rate of fire and hip fire accuracy, causing the shots to weaken targets. After a short time, it becomes overwhelming power, blah, 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 blah. Okay, and then it has a catalyst that does whatever the catalyst does. I don't know. Okay, so if we get kills with this weapon... okay, we're gonna make things volatile. If we make things volatile, I want to say it's this one. Maybe it's not this one. Maybe it is this one. If we make things volatile, we're gonna get, you know, an overshield the next time we kill something. So, oh, yeah, boom. Volatile, Void Breach. Let's do all these, like, Void-themed ones. Alright. Let's do Amplify. Void Breach. Okay. Just equipping the ones that vaguely mention Void and not even really thinking about what I'm equipping, which is probably not smart. Let's see. Really? Is that... okay, I guess that's kind of like all of them. You gain temporary... well, let's see if there's a better one first. Throwing your Arc Grenade, Woven Mail, Devour, Void Breach, Weaken Pulse, which is probably the best out of all of them. Targets affected by your strand debuffs take... no, that's stupid. So, boom. Okay. So this one is pretty simple, and let's see, what do I have? I have anti-barrier, anti-barrier. I don't have, fucking, whatchamacallit. So this one's pretty simple. Okay, if I kill an enemy, and I go over, and then I punch another enemy, that enemy explodes. That sounds really stupid, but that's basically what this does. So... I'm going to go into a little bit of easier content because this build is not as good. It's just this build is really fun. You know, the whole purpose of this build is to have fun. Now, another thing to keep in mind is the Turncoat is a really good weapon. However, there is an even better weapon that you can get, and we're actually going to try to run for it, and it's called the Heron. The Heron can get destabilizing rounds and repulsor brace, which causes a lot of explosions, and I actually happen to have exactly one single roll of it, so I will be showing that later when I show the Hunter.
This should be a clear-cut sector sweep. Not with the weirdness you've been dealing with on Kepler.
Thank goodness.
Okay.
Every time the Guardian turns
Enemy.
into a tiny energy ball,
Give me enemies.
squeezy.
I don't know what that means. Human form will be fine for this, thank you.
Okay, we finally have it. Alright, so. Now we're just gonna punch things like a jackass. Okay. So we get Devour, we get Overshields, and we get Healing. It's not very powerful. I wouldn't recommend it for any difficult activity, but if you're just wanting to screw around, it can be a lot of fun. If you want to be really annoying in PvP, like this is one of the numerous metas right now. And eventually, if you get enough of the volatile trigger words going, is you'll just have this thing where you can just punch everything. The only thing it requires is me to shoot an enemy once, and then I just walk over and punch them and they explode. Now, if they happen to explode near another enemy, what will happen is then the other enemies will become volatile. So all I'm doing is using the hand cannon to apply volatile and then punching that enemy. Okay. So we got volatile rounds again. Unfortunately, most of these enemies just die in one hit. Okay, you're not volatile, really? And every time we get Void Breaches, we get an Overshield and we get our health back. You know, it's pretty... You know, the problem with this is this requires things to die easy. And so if you're playing in harder difficulty content, sometimes enemies just don't die so easily. And when they don't die so easily, this build becomes pretty useless pretty quickly. So in the lighter tier content, it can actually be really powerful, but in higher tier content, it's not very powerful at all. So let's just go ahead and... Oh, for fuck's sakes. Come on. Now, this is a build I would recommend if you're trying to get your Icefall mantles and you just don't have them yet. You could run this build instead. Because if you run this build, you know, and you get your fucking Icefall mantles, and you just run around and use the other build. Little Ward of Dawn. Anything inside the bubble explodes, including players. And you can pick up Ward of Dawn now and throw it like it's, you know, a weapon, basically. It's kind of stupid. Okay. Alright, come on. Did I seriously go in the wrong fucking area like an idiot? Yeah, I did. Oh, I just missed the fucking door over here. Now, unfortunately, this Knucklehead mask has not kicked on, but I mean, it's just more overshield for consistency's sake, you know. For those who somehow don't know, having a second overshield is like having a second health bar. You know, that's really it is. It's a health bar that goes over the top of your health bar, which is sometimes your only health bar if you're not doing so great. But. See, sometimes if you get your fists to be volatile, which is actually something that can happen, you can just spread more volatile around, which triggers Devour and Overshield. And you can do stupid things like that, like killing a Thrall that explodes in your face at point blank, because you'll gain health immediately, your entire health bar back, before they can even kill you. So, I mean, it's not a bad build. It's just, again, you know, the stasis build is superior. And, you know, the more enemies group up, the more they just, like, immediately die. If you have volatile fists, which I apparently don't have at the moment. Yeah. There we go. So, I mean, you know, running a Lost Sector at, I think this is, what, Legendary difficulty? It's like 2 steps below, no, Heroic, I think it's called. Where it's like 2 steps below Master and Grandmaster and all that. Not very high, not very difficult, but... You can even punch bosses, too. Just say no, kids. Say no to damage. You can't kill me. You can try. Where's this other fucking thing? Okay. And just like that, we're volatile again. Which is just like the most Titan brain activity, by the way. Just punch things until they die. Alright, you know what? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, where is this fucking flying asshole? There we go. done. Very simple build.
The threat's been neutralized.
I mean, it doesn't really require a lot of you. It just requires you to use either your grenade, your powered melee ability, or, you know, avoid exotic weapon. And then you just turn around after doing that and immediately start punching everything to death.
Sorry to hear that.
Now, the thing that would really set this build on fire is if I had the same glaive that my hunter has, which I'm actually going to go and try to get right this very moment. Apparently, Scary Cupid's online. Let's see, what's live? Okay, come on. Make sure it's saved. Did I save that? Let's save it right quick. There we go. And just wait for fucking ever to go to the tower. Okay. Come on, game. What the hell? Good old death. There we go. I wonder if I should put an epilepsy warning on these videos. Alright. Yep, this is the healthiest dead game ever. So now we just go to Tenet of Bravery, and we're gonna go, come on. We're gonna go to Lawless Event Engrams, and we're just gonna give it a good old spin. Let's see, what do we have here? And we do not have the one we need. But I have an itchy, sneezy nose, which is fucking great. Okay, don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. And no on the rolls. Heal Clip Incandescent is okay. Let's see what we have. Grave Robber, Vorpal Weapon is meh. Opening Shot. No, that one's just not good. What's this one? Something new with... Do we have it? Nope. No, we don't. Unfortunately, no amazing rolls. Okay. Subsistence is good to have on a machine gun. Redirection is actually good too. Alright, so that's all that. Let's see here. It's for the... Where is it? Come on. Alright, well, I guess I'm not seeing it. I guess I don't have it at the moment. But that's fine. So now we're going to swap over to one of my different builds. So, this is my Moth Keeper's Wraps, and there's the Heron with our amazing repulsor brace, destabilizing rounds. That's the one to chase. I fire this weapon once, I get, you know, explosions. Explosions trigger Moth Keeper's Wraps. I get my grenade. And then I also get Gunpowder's Gamble, and I go invisible. And let's see. And look at that, I have Overload and I have Unstoppable, which is just perfect because we're going to go right on in. Was it Nessus? No, it was Dreaming City. Yeah. Just go right on into the Bay of Wishes here. Oh, that stuns overloads too. Okay. Good to know. And we also have some other builds to show off. Like this PvP build right here. Well, that's not a PvP. This is a PvP build. There it is. And this other PvP build, which is absolute nuts. But okay, come on. Do I have all the right stuff on? It looks like I do. Yeah, okay. Now, hunters are famous for having no survivability, and also apparently no ammo. Maybe it'll be fine. Can you... yeah. Maybe will give me a little bit of ammo when I hop in. Maybe. Oh, look at that. It actually did. Now, the nice thing is I really don't even have to bother with any of this bullshit. You can just walk right up and... come on. Yep. And they're all volatile now. There's my Gunpowder's Gamble. And just like that, he's stunned again. Oh. Sometimes I get a little overconfident. Just a little bit. Nope, you're done. Nothing to lose your head over, man. Now, the only reason why I'm pulling out my assault rifle here is I just want to charge my darkness meter here, which is actually important for this next part, because I want to show you guys this. Okay, come on now. So if I hadn't died there, like a dumbass that I am, I would have been able to show you that I actually get 7 grenades off of going Transcended. But it's okay. because honestly, 4 grenades is really just more than enough. Now, the nice thing about the Heron with repulsor blurs and destabilizing rounds is that it also stuns overloads too, even though it's meant to stun, you know, just normal enemies, unstoppables mainly. What the? Oh, okay. Anyways. This is gonna be a piece of shit about it. That's fine. Oh, it's the fucking sniper again. 'Cause of course, I always just forget he's there. Oh my fucking god, that sniper. Yeah, have fun with that one, asshole. Go. Just do that. Get all my stuff. No, I don't think so. Get back there. Seriously? Really? Shot me through a wall. Okay. You get out of my fucking way. Firstly. Yeah, you're getting a fucking super to the face here. There you go, smartass. Yep, have some more grenades. You like those grenades? Have some more. You get some grenades too. Fuck all of you. Certain point, I just get a little kinda over it. What's that? You want grenades? I got grenades. How about two-tailed fox, too? Yeah, yeah. Have some more. Let's see, this should be the boss. And also, yes, two-tailed fox also triggers my grenades, so... And there we are. There we go. Okay, so we're just, what, not opening now? Fuck it. So, now how this build works, okay, very simple. We have Deadfall, we have your usual Transcendent, Stylus Executioner, Gunpowder's Gamble, okay? Duskfield Grenades, not really important. I just like using them because I like to have the Duskfield Grenade. You can use Arc Bolt, you can use Swarm Grenades. Magnet Grenade would actually probably be a lot better. Or the Grapple Grenade would work as well. Snare Bomb is helpful because it spreads weakness. But if you're not going to use Snare Bomb, then you would want to use Withering Blade. Because Stylus Executioner and how it works, you need a debuff of some sort to go invisible. Other than that, we have Faceted Blessing, Faceted Protection, and then Faceted Devotion, and then Faceted Courage, and then Faceted Hope. Okay, elemental buffs grant, increase regeneration ability more quickly. Your Arc, Super Solar, and Void abilities do increase damage to targets inflicted with darkness, which is what Duskfield does. Faceted Devotion, we have our Stasis or Strand debuffs, light bonus to Transcendent Energy. And then, Triple Jump, of course. Gambler's Dodge, actually, probably should switch it to Marksman Dodge for this particular build. Faceted Protection, while surrounded by combatants, you are more resistant to incoming damage, while Transcendent, the effect is increased. Beyond that, we have Faceted Blessing, melee blows, start health regeneration, while Transcendent, melee final blows start health regeneration for you and nearby allies. Now, I didn't really get to show it off, but this weapon, when you make enemies volatile and you melee them, then you get your overshield back with the weapon. Let's see. Anything else to cover here? So that's basically the setup. Deadfall is just so that we get Void Breaches, which feed into Devour and Volatile. You can use Silence and Squall, or any of the other supers, including Golden Gun or Storm's Edge. As far as the Rufus Fury goes, it's not important that it's Strand. It wouldn't be important even if it was Stasis. The reason why we're using this is because it has Demolitionist, Adrenaline Junkie. This build is built to spam grenades, and Rufus's Fury helps me spam more grenades. Now, it's really more about spamming explosions itself, and, so the fact that Two-Tailed Fox gives 2 explosions works. However, you could use Dragon's Breath if you wanted to use that instead. Dragon's Breath obviously gives you access to, unstoppable stun. You could also go with Outrageous Fortune with Incandescent and Chain Reaction, because again, that causes a lot of explosions. Now, if I had to swap out Rufus's Fury for something, if I had to swap out Two-Tailed Fox or something, I would probably consider some kind of Void exotic like Telesto. But honestly, Two-Tailed Fox is honestly the better choice, and I'm working on its catalyst anyways, so I might as well do it just now. So there is that to factor in. Now, the nice thing is the hardest part of this build to get is Mothkeeper Wraps, okay? The reason why they're the hardest is simply because you actually have to do Lost Sectors. Well, the other thing is this build does work without Mothkeeper Wraps, so if you don't want Mothkeeper Wraps, you could use something else entirely. I'm going to go into... Nope, wrong one. Okay, yeah, I know I got Bastion earlier. You could use something like Liar's Handshake, and use cross counter. That's one way to go about it. Another one that you could use is Triton's Vice, if you happen to have that. Overflow your glaive with melees, use the melee, use the Heron shooting to actually explode things. You could use, really you can use any exotic. This build is not dependent on exotics whatsoever. In fact, just to prove that point, are you done? In fact, we're going to run this again with just no exotic, just to show off how actually powerful this build is. The Mothkeeper's Wraps I use mainly just because it's funny. I mean, that's really the only reason. It's kind of funny to me to use Mothkeeper's Wraps, because then you have, 4 grenades instead of 2. So... Come here, big boy. I'll just wait. Yep. And goodbye. Did I not put it on master difficulty? Okay. Well, I guess I didn't. Oh well. Just means I'm fighting 2 less champions. Oh, that's right, this fucking asshole. Aha, I may have remembered this time. Fucking come on, that fucking sniper rifle. There you fucking go. Snipe that, asshole. And you're dead. I don't even have time to deal with you. But I'm just not even interested. By time, what I really mean is I don't have the patience to spend extra time dealing with that. Wow, okay. That was a little weird. Okay. So if I could just quit forgetting the giant orbs next to me explode, that'd be great. rid of this. No, I don't think so. And game over. It's game over, man. So I forgot to turn this on to master, but I mean, at the same time too, though, I'm doing this with no exotic equipped, so I kind of feel like just maybe not having a whole ass exotic equipped balances things out. Okay, can we... I had to wait, seriously. Now, if I can do this with no exotic equipped and a relatively easy to get weapon, I think you guys can see why this build is so good. And, you know, let's just say you're a player... fuck's sakes. Let's just say you're a player with no exotics whatsoever. Okay, what the fuck? I hate when people stand inside of you. So we're just gonna do boop and launch. So even if you're a brand spanking new hunter, and the hunter, by the way, is the weakest out of all three classes when it comes to endgame content, like a Lost Sector. Okay. That's what I get for trying to be bold. I should have just stunned him instead of being stupid. Alright, bring on the second one. Alright, bring on the third one. Where's the third one? Oh, there he is. Come on, crumple nuts. Well, that's embarrassing. That's really embarrassing, my guy. No, I don't think so. I love blowing myself up. I do it every single day, apparently. And you're done. And you're done. Nope. Oh, look at that. You jumped down all on your own. Goodbye. There should be another ammo brick around here somewhere. That might be an issue for a future version of me. That's what I get for wasting all my ammo. Oh. Okay. Okay. Very nice, Austin. Good fucking job. With a shovel. You know what? I'm sick of you already. Did somebody say boss fight? Never mind. I guess there wasn't a boss fight. It must have been the wind. No exotics, folks. Just really easy to get weapons. One that you can even buy, that you don't even have to fucking grind. And, you know, another fucking weapon that is practically given to you first get-go. And, you know, Rufus Fury really isn't necessary. Any weapon that has Demolitionist and Adrenaline Junkie will do. You know, and now I know what people are going to say. They're going to be like, oh, well, that's because you're using, you know, Prismatic. Well, okay, how about we use Void? You know, a subclass given to every hunter day one. And we're just going to do the same exact thing. No exotics, and no nonsense. In fact, actually, this might be a little bit more powerful, if anything. Okay. Just didn't go invisible fast enough. Okay. Does Sniper Asshole really not show himself unless I'm like fucking... Oh, you executed the wrong one. There we go. There's the results I want. Goodbye. In fact, I think this might be my fastest clear of this, like, ever. Go. Don't mind if I do. Oh, fuck's sakes. I gotta stop doing that. Such a dick. Alright. It doesn't even matter that I died, because these guys are still going to be volatile when I spawn in. It's like, where the fuck did you go? And that's all she wrote. No exotics. And not only no exotics, but no prismatic either. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Main purpose is the Heron, the MPA repulsor with all the volatile stuff that you see there, And then just a focus on mostly health and melee, but a little bit on class ability too. All we're doing is using Stylus Executioner and something else. It doesn't matter what else. I recommend on the Prowl in particular. But Stylus Executioner, the Heron, and the Artifact is the main two things that makes this build so damn good. Now, this one is really simple. You have the Bad Juju, you have Mask of Baccaris. Mask of Baccaris, what? This shouldn't be Mask of Baccaris, that should be the Nighthawk. You have the Nighthawk normally, and then Bad Juju, and then Solar Gunslinger, and basically that just gives you your golden gun faster. All it requires is for you to land headshots. That's all that build is. It doesn't really matter on anything else. You can use it with Prismatic, of course. And then, of course, you know, this is more... or wait, no, this is the right one. But, I mean, this is my main Hunter build just because it blows things up. I do, however, have another Hunter build. This one is your typical, you know, young Akamar's Spine, tripwire build, causes a bunch of explosions. That's all it really does. There's nothing all that exciting about it, except the fact that it causes a lot of explosions all the time. Now, against Crota, because he's damage gated, otherwise I would be able to pump out even more damage, but against Crota in the Word of Crota raid, I can actually pump out a whopping 5 million damage. And so this is actually the build that I run when I'm running against Crota. And as far as the Sweet Business goes, that's just because it's in gold. There's no other reason. That's the only reason why the Sweet Business is even on here. The better move would be to run Monte Carlo. So now let's go ahead and get into the Warlock. Now the Warlock I've had, well, I still have 2 different builds. It's just, well, actually I have more like 3. There's the Helion build, which is not exciting to talk about because everybody runs it if they play Warlock. But there is, of course, your typical Dawnblade Warlock. You have Incinerator Snap, you have, you know, Phoenix Dive, you have Heat Rises, Icarus Dash. You know, this is just, you have Starfire Protocol, gives you an extra fusion grenade. You use that to then turn around, consume your grenade, float in the air, get solar kills with a solar weapon, things explode, and you spam your little finger snaps. That's all that really is. Now, it's pretty simple. It's pretty self-explanatory. You know, do I not have the stuff to make the other build? Damn it. I wish I did, because I could show it to you. Let's see, what is this? Nobody cares about that crap. Okay. Well, this should have the class setup at least. Yeah, let's go to collections here, because maybe it's in my... That would be crazy if I don't actually have... Oh, no, I do. It's right here. Okay. Now we just need a chest piece. There we go. That'll work. Okay. Equip that. Equip this. Now, all this guy's pretty simple. You have Child of the Old Gods. You have Feed the Void. Defeating a target with void ability grants Devour. Your Devour effects are improved, restoring additional health and grenade energy. All of this other stuff is actually, like, not important, which is kind of funny. But Briarband's Child of the Old God. Okay, so I put down my Rift. When I put down my Rift not only gives me, you know, energy and everything, but it gives me a little orb, and the orb I can throw it at people. When I throw my orb at people, it explodes in a ball kind of like this, takes up an 8-foot radius, and all it does is it does that over and over again. Now, let's see. Okay, apparently I've completed quests, which I don't really care about. And apparently I have stuff in my rewards class, which I also don't really care about. So for this particular one, the stat you would actually want to focus on is going to be class ability out of everything. It looks like most of this has all of that. Okay. Alright, let's see. And powerful attraction. Let's go with... just hold on. No, wait a minute. I should probably go with this one here. Grenade cooldown. I guess this one is it. Then, okay, so there's that one. Then... let's see. There was... no, there it is. Void breaches, and do that. Okay, what the hell? That's okay. I don't know why that's even like that. That's a little weird. Okay, and should. And we'll just do your very typical ashes to assets and hands-on perks, because they don't really matter. Oh, hey, that's actually pretty cool. So now for this one, I mean, you know, Echo of Persistence, Void debuffs applied to you, Invisibility, Overshield, Devour, have increased duration, defeating weakened targets, Orb of Power, and a Void Breach. Okay, picking up an Void Breach or an Orb of Power grants Devour, and then Lingering Grenade effects. You know, all of your Vortex grenades, you know, your Void grenades have increased duration. And then finally, you know, Echo Vigilance is, you know, defeating a target while your shield's blah blah blah. Not very interesting. Let's see, actually, this would probably, that would actually probably be better. So, yeah, I already have that. Okay. And then we have Tanfir with Snapshot Sights, Ensemble, Vestinger. You know, nothing to write home about there. And for this one, usually I would use, you know, Graviton Lance is really good for this particular build. But you could also use something else like, let's see, where is it? Telesto. Telesto works for this as well. We're going to, let's see, that's anti-barrier. I need probably a fucking... see, do I have Graviton Lance is anti-barrier, so I should probably use either Telesto or something else for that. Oh, hey, Fighting Lion will work. Yeah, Fighting Lion works for this build just fine. This build's really not dependent on any one particular thing. Saurus Versal I'm never going to use. And we just need an Overload hand cannon. Might work. Do we have anything else, though? Because we might have something better. Oh, actually, we have this guy right here. And if I remember correctly, he should have Demoralized Repulsor Brace is a pretty good stand-in for Repulsor Brace and I forget what the other perk is called. But this one will work just fine. Now we just need a... Oh wait, what's this? Oh hey, same thing, but it's in a combat bow. That works too. Okay, well. Maybe we can hopefully find an overload weapon here one of these fucking years. That's one's kind of whatever. Wait, hold on a minute. Oh, that's for an unstop. Yeah, so we need an overload weapon now. I'm over here looking for the wrong fucking thing. What the fuck? Uncivil discourse, I don't really care for. Okay, I wish they had made the symbols just a little big. Oh, hey, wait. Lone Wolf Kinetic Tremors, here we go. That'll work. Okay. So. Now, this one, when people see it, usually, people who play the game a lot, when they see it in action, I'm just blowing everything up, it usually blows people's minds. Let's see, okay. Well, we really don't need that anyway, so I'll just equip this just to get my fucking level up. 461, and way below light score. So. Okay. Activity unavailable. Oh, I guess I've never completed this lost sector as this guy. That's alright, it'll give me a chance to show off the abilities of it. What time is it? Damn, it's almost 8 o'clock. Okay. Okay, so we have Child of the Old Gods. Okay, I'm trying to remember how to throw it. Oh, that's right, I just have to shoot it. Well, shoot my weapon with it. And apparently I yeeted it, like, somewhere off in the distance here. Seriously? Can we, like, knock it off with that? Okay, so I don't know why it's not going. There we go. So we can see here the orb just kind of does damage and everything. The nice part, though, is I can keep picking it up and sending it, and every time I do, it gives me energy for all my other abilities. Which, you'll notice, I already have all of my abilities back. Come on. That actually might be a good grid skipper. And it's not. Okay, seriously, where the hell is the... Bungie thought this was really necessary. Alright. We'll just run through this right quick, because then I have to fucking get off. Come on. So, the actual loop is you would start by popping your thing, get your Child of the Old Gods, send your Child of the Old Gods out. Your Child of the Old Gods does all kinds of crazy things to people and enemies. Really pisses people off in PvP. You know, die because you just decide that you don't need to stun the champion, even though he's actually deadly. This bow's actually not bad at fucking doing this. Okay. Pick up our Child of the Old Gods again. And every time we do, we get ability energies again. So you can see we already have my grenades here. Go. And as you can see, I already have my rift again, so we just come over here, rift this motherfucker, and boom. Go ahead and pick up our Void Soul, or absolutely fail to pick it up every time. Doesn't really matter, because I'm going to have it again here in a second. Okay, seriously now, not a fan of that. Come on. And there's that. Okay. Let's just be done with you. Now, the problem is I've been fucking up this build the whole time by not picking up the Child of the Old Gods. But you can see, even with me fucking it up, it's still powerful. Now we're cooking with gas. Or we can send it all the way. There we go. Yeah, no, I just refused. Oh, or I'll blow myself up. I can do that. I can be completely safe even in the front of the boss until I blow myself up like an idiot. Just pick this Void Soul up, hit him again, hit that guy. Look at all this free health I'm just getting. I mean, it doesn't make you invincible, but it's probably, honestly, the best thing the Warlock has in his toolkit. Just because, at least, even though it's not extremely powerful, it's incredibly consistent. And sometimes, consistency is just what you need. The only thing is, you gotta remember to actually pick up the Void Soul before it disappears. And so, that's the only problem, is if you don't do that, you start